Okay. All right. We're live. So we're going to make this a quick one. We're able to gather the bunch for the first podcast of the year. And I mean, I think if there were some better things to talk about, then maybe we'd be talking more. My friends here, Colin and Parker, have had good seasons. And obviously myself, I'm a little slow out of the gate. I think there's still time for us to do something special. We might as well get it out of the way. Oh, you guys introduce yourselves, maybe a little short monologue about your season real quick.
Rob.
Oh, me first?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Well, first, I'd like to say slow out of the gate is quite the understatement. I don't know if 1-6 qualifies for slow out of the gate, but nonetheless, happy with our team. We got some injuries, but we've made it work. We're battling the wide receiver position. We can't decide who to play, but we're going to figure it out. It's going to be another playoff run.
Yeah, I agree with Colin. Definitely an understatement from Josh over there. 1-6 with multiple weeks of getting tripled up by his opponent, aka he scored like 40 points. His opponent scored a whole lot more than that. Anyways, my roster's fine. Nothing great. We came into the year with a very weak flex in bench, and we've been slowly adding guys, and kind of like where we're at the moment. We'll see where we end up at the end of the year. But we've read the injuries well at this point, so we got some options on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, slow out of the gate. I don't know what else to say. We want to stay positive around here, keep a winning mindset. It doesn't matter if we're losing games by 1 or 100. A loss is a loss, and we move on to the next week and we prepare. We get back into the lab, we watch some film, and we start preparing for the next week. It's a 1-game season every week. So look, right now we're preparing to go to 2-6. Once we get this one over Byron, Donovan Mitchell just hit a 3 to go up by 1 over the Nets with 12 seconds.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's good.
Go
Cards. So yeah, I mean, look, long story short, Roppel, you're 2 games ahead of me, man. You're 2 games. That's all it takes. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're back on schedule.
So it's more than a one-game season then.
No, 1 game at a time, but we're 2 games back. We have a big picture view on a wide scale. But
whatever you gotta tell yourself. I'm with you.
Every week.
It sounds like some bullshit.
Yeah, well, it might be a little coach speak, but that's all right. Look, we're happy with our bunch. I've received some trade offers this week, and nothing's really been enough for me to make a move. I want to make a move just to send a message to the locker room, but I mean, Byron offered me Zach Moss for Chris Olave today. I'm like, what do you think this is, dude? Like, Chris Olave just got arrested. That's the type of shit that I want right now.
He was going 30 miles an hour over and wasn't drunk. Like, he's gonna be all right. Like,
I know. I think Byron expected me to just be like, I've had enough of this guy.
That trade offer is like something you would send if Olave was suspended for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, Zach Moss is the backup running back for the Colts. Just because he ran on the Titans doesn't mean you get fucking playable receivers for his ass. Correct.
And look, I think this is a good message right now for the locker room. Like, we're willing to do whatever. We're willing to go to jail. Word on the street was Olave was headed to the practice facility at midnight. So we're excited about Cam Thomas for the win. Come on, knock it down. Cam Johnson. Oh, that's a foul.
Another loss.
I can't get a win, man. I can't get a win. But look, end of the day, we're 1-6. We have the least amount of points scored in the league and the most points scored against us. Something's got to change. So we hope to turn the tide right now. We're about mid-season, so we do feel good about the second half outlook. Saquon's back in the lineup. We got DeAndre Swift playing good football. And the receivers, Garrett Wilson maybe is starting to build a little bit of a rapport with Zach Wilson.
That should be interesting to see how they play together this weekend after a bye week against a pretty subpar opponent.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, our defense has just been top 5 the last 3 weeks, but that's all right.
I love it. This whole full season thing, you're just not into it. I love it.
Yeah. So, yeah, look, Calvin Ridley, let me just go down the list. Calvin Ridley has been an absolute bust for me. He started out 8 catches, 100 yards in a game, and I'm like, wow, okay, I got the Calvin Ridley I was hoping for. He didn't score a touchdown, but I liked the volume and looked good. And, he just hasn't been that guy ever since. Christian Watson battling injuries. That's okay. I could have guessed that. Chris Olave, that one's been a real disappointment for me. I was expecting a big year out of Olave, but Derek Carr is just cheeks. So, that a lot of unfortunate circumstances have led to this. None bigger than my quarterback position. And I'll be the first to admit it starts with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones got the team off to a tough start. He dropped a 4-point game in week 1. I mean, listen to my quarterback numbers by the week. Week 1, Daniel Jones, 4.3 points. Week 2 was incredible, and this is my only win. Daniel Jones, 29.9 points. Week 3, Daniel Jones.
That was that bullshit Cardinals game.
Daniel Jones, 3.5 points. Week 4, Daniel Jones, 8.6 points. Week 5, CJ Stroud, 13.2 points. Finally, it felt like a lot to me, but 13 out of the quarterback is just not going to get it done. Especially when your receivers were supposed to be good, but you got fucking Olave putting up 7 and Garrett Wilson putting up 5. Like that, it's not what I was looking for those guys. Week 6, I ran it back with CJ Stroud, and he gave me the exact same total of 13.2. Week 7 this past week, I tried Jared Goff out, 9 points. So I've had 3 weeks out of 7 weeks with my quarterback totaling over 10 points. It's rough. You expect at least 15 points, 20 points, 25, 30 points out of your quarterback. And I just haven't been getting that. Tight end production has been up and down, but you can say that about a lot of teams. I'm not going to point a finger there. We've had some good weeks with, Kyle Pitts. We've had some decent weeks with Kincaid, but end of the day, it really does start with the receiver room and the quarterback room. And we've been riding the Baltimore defense, which has been good for us. I mean, I started Riley Patterson, the Lions kicker, last week. He didn't even fucking use his leg. Zero kick attempts the entire game. It's been that kind of year for us. And, I think we're just due. I like the group. Spirits are still high in the locker room. And I'm serious when I say we're still thinking championship. It's 1 week at a time, but what are we working for if we're not working for a championship? So, for those who are asking, is it time to hit the panic button? Do you have your comedy set ready? No, we don't own a panic button. The word panic is not in our dictionary. And, I might be lying to you if I didn't think at least once what it would be like to get up on a comedy set. So, I have thought about it, and you just got to start, you got to start thinking about, worst case scenario sometimes to get out of that hole. Think about it and then leave it, leave it in the dust, keep it as a lesson. You don't want to have those thoughts ever again. So, all that to say, it starts this week. We're going to beat Byron. I'm going to be in the big city. I might even start Daniel Jones if he gets the start. And Saquon's going to run for 200 on Bob Saleh's trash defense. And the Giants are going to win. I'm going to win. And it's going to be.
So let me ask Josh. So is it a must win this week? We got to get it done this week. No.
I mean, every week's a must win week.
No. I'm not talking about every week. I'm talking about this week. We got to win. No.
Yeah, I would say it's a must win week. I think we've been through a lot of losses in a row consecutively. I think it's 5. It's time for us to get back in the win column and really move things in the right direction of the championship. So yeah, we're going to be expecting a big performance out of all the guys on the roster, not just not just Saquon, who's been, he had a good week last week. We need our receivers to step up. I need a week out of Ridley to give me some confidence that he's still a playable guy. So yeah, we're looking at Garrett Wilson a little bit. Unfortunately, he's got to go up against CB1 Deontay Banks. So we'll see.
Ooh, did you see his comments? Who he said the toughest guy he's ever guarded was?
Who, Deontay Banks?
Mm-hmm.
You say Garrett Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Good. He's playing mind games already.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I love it.
Easier to guard him when Zach Wilson's throwing it to him.
Yeah, see, Zach Wilson is just that's where I do have confidence in the Giants, but less confidence.
He's only gotten better each week.
Yeah,
Well,
better but not good.
There wasn't really any room to get worse.
Yeah,
so
better but not good.
He's won some pretty big football games.
Which ones?
Yeah, which games has he won?
Buffalo.
Yeah,
that was a pretty big one. The Eagles, that was a pretty big one.
Yeah, the defense won that game.
Yeah.
He didn't make mistakes, and they're winning football games.
Special teams.
He's doing his job.
He didn't lose the game. He didn't.
Hey,
it's not like he went out there and won it.
He outplayed Mahomes. He outplayed Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't outplay Josh Allen.
I don't know about
well,
that.
kind of.
Well,
but he did outplay Mahomes. There's no argument there.
Let's just go ahead and transition.
Yeah.
Easy transition, because it feels like we should have just go ahead and address the other 1-5 team or 1-6 team, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I love Walker to death, one of my best friends in the world. And I do feel like he is getting it a lot from people in the league. Like, pretty much Walker does anything, and somebody's going to be like, what the fuck is Walker doing?
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I do it a lot. But he opens himself up to it. What the fuck has he been doing this year? Respectfully to the Denver Dogs, what has management been doing out west? Like, what is going on? They're making bad trades. They're dropping people they shouldn't drop. Like, his team is 1-6. He could use Kareem Hunt right now. Why did he drop him? I promise it's not because he has too many players on his team that are undroppable. It just feels like
I mean, I'll give him a little bit of credit because he's got potential to be the first team ever in the history of this league to have the least amount of points in the league and have the least amount of points scored against him in the league and still come in last. Now that I will give credit where credit's due, and that would be impressive.
That'd be quite the feat
for sure.
That would be quite the feat. I mean, his last loss, that's the kind of loss at 1-5. You think you're going to turn the season around, go 2-5. That's a tough loss. That on a Monday night. Who scored who was it? Who scored?
Jordan Addison went crazy.
Yeah. That's a tough way to lose.
He did go nuts.
Yeah, I mean that is the kind of loss that can really break a locker room, and it does seem like that locker room hasn't been very cohesive all year. They've made moves. Like you said, they've dropped some guys. It hasn't been one unit that they could all build relationships together. And I don't know. We'll have to see. This is definitely I'll speak for him as being a member of the 1-6 club. It's a must-win week for him. It's a must-win week for me. But yeah, like Colin said, second least amount of points scored against him in the league this year. So he's had opportunities.
No, I think he has the least scored against. He does.
He's got the least.
And you are the only one who has less points scored for.
Yeah. No, he
which is did not realize you have not eclipsed 500 yet. That is also
Yeah. But look, man, it doesn't matter. It's week to week. It's a matter of what we put up on a week to week basis.
Y'all are week to week sucking ass.
Yeah. Hey, we haven't been good. We haven't. But the guys in the locker room understand that, so they're looking to really turn the tables this week.
I will say, I think I'd rather lose the way you did by 95 points than lose to Jordan Addison on a 75-yard Monday night touchdown.
Yeah, for sure.
That hurt so bad.
Me, the week is over quick. You know.
You already got the kick in the nuts. You're like, all right, we fucking lost. Yeah. Walker carried hope through the whole weekend that he was getting him back on track, just to find out, oh, no, we're not.
Yeah. I stopped paying attention to my matchup when Michael Pittman had a 75-yard touchdown.
So what, like halftime of the first games?
Yeah, just
about 1:30 in the afternoon, you were done with NFL?
Well, yeah, because the Sunday morning game was the Saints and what do you call it? And it was the Thursday night game. Sorry, Thursday night. And Ridley and Olave both put up like fucking 5 points combined. So I knew it was over. Yeah, and I had Michael Pittman last year. Had Michael Pittman last year, so he really just stuck it to me this year.
Hey, you want Michael Thomas? You can have Michael Thomas.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey, he's going to get you at least 5 points a week. Probably not any more than 7, unless he scores a touchdown.
I'm good.
Hey, just saying.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Olave, got some problems.
He does, but I really am excited about him coming off the arrest.
Okay.
I mean, he had 15 targets last week.
That's fair. I mean, I felt the same way about like DeAndre Hopkins last year. I was like, I mean, I'm going to get like a roided up DeAndre Hopkins. Like, some of that additional stuff does matter. I'll give you that.
It absolutely matters. And I think
Cody Mello arrested Olave. Same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you see it the same way I do, because we were thrilled when we saw that he wasn't drinking, and he wasn't going 80 over. He was it's a respectable 30 miles an hour over in a low speed limit type of place. You know what I mean? That's happened to me myself. I've been
5 over.
Yeah.
I got caught going 35 over.
Dude, I got caught in a small town in Indiana. It was like the highway turned into a one-way, like a little town. It was like I think it was like a 35 speed limit. I was going like 65 because it was a highway. And then it just like ran into a little town. The second I got in there, the lights were on. I was like, oh, okay, that's fun. That turned into a whole night. One of my buddies got arrested that night, actually, in the car. Long story, but he came out better than ever, and I expect Chris Olave to do the same. So yeah, man, I really do think that we're going to turn the page. But let's talk about some of the teams up at the top real quick. They do deserve their shine.
Hey, I'm gonna start. Let me start.
Go ahead.
I want to give shine to a team that I think might be a legitimate contender for the first time ever.
Yep.
Grant's team is good.
Yep.
Grant's team is real fucking good.
They are.
Like legitimate, like they're winning games right now without 2 studs. And when I say stud, I mean like literally the best player in the league, other than McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So props to Grant. That team is no in joke.
Mm-hmm.
Good
one.
Just came up with that right now, by the way.
That was really good. About it. Yeah, Grant. I mean, when he gets healthy, he's gonna be looking at a dangerous roster. He did offer me a trade that I had to keep in mind. I'm like, hey man, I know what you're doing here. Obviously he's got Kyron Williams on the IR and Justin Jefferson on the IR. He's 6-1. He's playing the long game here. He knows he's going to make the playoffs. He's going to make the playoffs. And he wants the best possible roster for when he does get in there. So he offers me Dameon Pierce, who will be eventually replaced by Kyron Williams in his starting lineup, and Jacoby Myers, who will eventually be replaced by Justin Jefferson in his lineup, for one Saquon Barkley. I respect him offering it. He's got to do it, right? Like those aren't bad players. You're selling Jacoby high. Dameon Pierce is a guy who, people expected a decent year out of him coming into the season, but I'm not gonna load his roster. Like, I mean, that would just be, he'd be running out fucking Saquon, Kenneth Murray, Kyron Williams, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson. Like,
yeah, don't allow that. Goodness.
Yeah, that's a championship. So, all that goes into consideration. But even without that trade, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with when the season, reaches its peak and goes to the playoffs. I mean, Justin Herbert's been playing well. He's got Sam Laporta, who's third tight end. Christian Kirk, who's wide receiver 16, if he ever wants to fucking play him. He's got a bunch of guys that And obviously Jordan Addison coming off that huge week, he's going to be just fine without Justin Jefferson for a little bit. So, and Jacoby Myers is wide receiver 15. Like, I didn't see that one coming. I expected him to have a good year, but not like this. And obviously AJ Brown, and I saw he's had 125 plus yards in his last 6 games or something like that.
Dude,
last 5 games.
It's like the joke right now on Titans Twitter is like that we literally lost to the bye week. Like, we traded Kevin Byard and watched AJ Brown look like a fucking Hall of Famer on Sunday. That was painful. He is so good he just makes catches that there's 2-3 guys in the league that make, maybe. Like, it's just, congratulations for me.
Oftentimes there's 2-3 people around him,
exactly.
Like he's mossing dudes. He's
so good. I can't believe the Titans traded him.
Yeah, no, it's gotta hurt.
It still hurts my soul.
Let's shift gears here and let's move over to the other 6-1 team. The Gentlemen, man, they're a legit team, and I do think that, Parker, you could speak to this a little bit. Passing on CMC, that's gotta hurt, man.
Oh, for sure. It's probably the biggest mistake I could possibly imagine making in fantasy. If I had McCaffrey on my team, you have a hard time convincing me I don't have the best team in the league with the way Keenan and ETN have been playing. So that hurts. But, you live and you learn. It is what it is. Coming off championship, I might have been feeling a little big for my britches. I'm man enough to admit that, and went a little homer, went Derek. It is what it is. We recovered. We're still a competitive team. It's not like we're in the tank here. And we definitely struggled with the bench in the draft. I'll just say that. And so it's been a slow grind getting back there. But I really like what Rashee Rice has got going on. Darrell Henderson's just a guy that's going to get the ball a lot now. Same with Kareem now that everybody's hurt. So we're building it back. But yeah, not taking McCaffrey. Looking back on it, feels like a pretty outrageous decision on my behalf. Pretty wild. Yeah.
No,
he's literally when you look at the roster isn't that good. It's literally McCaffrey.
Yeah,
scoring 30 points a week. They're not bad. They're not a bad roster. I'm just saying they're not a 6-1 roster outside of McCaffrey.
Agreed. They have had guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown has been good. Nico Collins has been a big get for them. He hasn't been consistent. He's had 2 big weeks, but still, when you have McCaffrey and Nico Collins does that, you're winning the week.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure if McCaffrey doesn't get that touchdown pass on Monday night, I would have beaten the Gentlemen.
Well,
yeah, but that's what McCaffrey does.
I know. No, it's very nice to have.
Yeah.
But I don't see this team. I'll be honest. I don't think they can win it all. This roster build. I don't think they have it.
They're like the Lions to me. They're like the Lions in the actual NFL to me. It's like they're a good roster. It's like a good story. You're happy to see them at 6-1. But at the end of the day, do you think this team's gonna win the championship in the playoffs? I don't.
I don't think they're gonna end up. I think some losses might start piling.
They need basically what I got from Gurley the year that I won the first time. When Gurley was just going crazy, he scored 43 in the championship and 38 in the semifinals. They would literally need that.
Yeah.
To win.
And he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna retire now. Never played football again."
Hey, I got everything out of him that year. He really used himself up.
The thing about McCaffrey is he's scored in 15, 16 straight games. It's incredible.
16 now.
Well, in most of those games, he's scoring 2 or 3. It's not just 1 touchdown on all those games.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just think
he's incredible.
He's amazing, but eventually, he's gonna have a week where he has 8 points, and you just don't want that to come at the wrong time. And if it does, they don't win.
I'm honestly not convinced that he is.
Well, and also when you look at the schedule coming up for Hurts, he plays a lot of tough defenses until the very end of the year, which could help actually. But he goes through a tough stretch.
Yep.
I haven't looked at if McCaffrey plays. Oh my God, he's gonna have some field days. Fuck, he's not slowing down.
I don't think it matters for McCaffrey. He's so involved in that offense, and
dude, it doesn't. They don't play any. They play Philly's defense. That's about it, and Jacksonville's.
Wow, and he'll still get his.
Yeah,
he'll still get. But I mean, no, didn't they just play Philly? No, I'm tripping. Am I? Who just played?
Yeah, no, they have not played each other.
The Dolphins. But yeah, I mean,
did you know? Wait, fun fact, real quick. Did you know the Dolphins have not beaten a team above 500 since week 3 of last year?
Holy shit!
Yeah, they have 5 wins, and their 5 wins have combined for 8. Like the teams they've beaten, those 5 teams have won 8 games combined.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
like really bad.
You think they're really good, but maybe not.
They look really good when they beat teams, and then
it's pretty fun watching Tyreek Hill. I'm not gonna lie.
I can imagine.
Yeah, he's pretty good. We got 6 minutes,
fantasy?
by the way. 6 minutes.
Okay. Just looking at fantasy real quick. I'd call like kind of who we were just talking about, kind of like your surprises. Like that's your top tier. It's kind of your surprise teams, actually. I'd consider that next tier kind of your usual suspects, if you will. You got like me, Rob, Joey, Byron. I think Joey's kind of in his own tier. I really, really like Joey's roster a lot.
Yeah, he's good.
He is. But that next little wave of teams, you got Dylan's in there. I don't know if he has what it takes with all those rookies. That is one thing I'd like to address. Back-to-back years, Dylan has spent $400 on a defense in fantasy. Back-to-back years. So,
I can't say much about my Gainwell spin, but still.
Yeah, Gainwell is still probably worse because he's actually going to be able to play the Eagles defense. I will say the Eagles D plays 3 really good teams here coming up. Like
the Eagles schedule
may not even be able to put them in the game.
Yeah, the Eagles schedule coming up is like brutal. They got like 5
playoffs. If he makes the playoffs, they play the Giants and Arizona in the semifinals and the championship. But like, they play Dallas, then have a bye, then play KC, Buffalo, and San Francisco, then back at Dallas, and then at Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you gonna play them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
they may not be playable again until the playoffs.
Right, but maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking, hey, like I got an elite defense for the last couple games, and that does matter. It matters, and
but the first round of the playoffs, they play the Seahawks. Like it's like you got to win the first round too.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
For that price tag,
Yeah, no, I agree. One team we didn't talk about was Aaron's team. He's 5-2, and
I think he likes not being talked about.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's bottom 4 in the league in scoring. He's starting Najee Harris and Deontay Foreman, and it's not like he has a running back coming back. I mean, he's got Khalil Herbert coming back at some point, but like, that's what you do. I
have some quotes from him that I'm trying to find that I could read that are pretty awesome.
Well, you're finding those. I will say, I love the Deontay Foreman play. I was a big fan of the days that I would ride Deontay. He always seems to put it together when he gets the ball. If you give the man like 15 carries, he'll give you a decent fantasy game. Najee kind of sucks.
Yeah, Najee's not good. Deontay Foreman had 30 points last week.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was 30. Mike Evans is actually having a really good year, by the way.
Dude, so is Adam Thielen.
Yeah, so is that. He's getting wins with these 30-year-old receivers.
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of it.
I do too. It's just not a winning formula long term.
No.
The luck will catch up with them here eventually. But he's 5-2. He's going to play his way into the playoffs, and then it's anyone's game. So
here's a couple of quotes from Aaron. Said, I legit would drop him if I had a better option, but I don't. Speaking about Najee Harris. That's one quote. The next quote
Najee Harris
is, I have no idea what I'm doing this year. Legitimately trying to stay out of the 9 and 12 seeds. I don't want to do comedy at all. And then we were talking about Rudy and Walker, and he says, I could easily be in their shoes. Like, look at my points against and points for. It's atrocious.
I love the self-awareness.
These are all. He said in the group chat that he is the worst 5-2 team probably in the history of New Lumen.
Yeah. I can't imagine it being worse. And he doesn't have one running back that I'm like, oh, that's at least decent.
I tried to get Najee from him, but I wasn't really offering a whole lot either.
Aaron, if you listen to this, I'll trade you for Lamar Jackson. I promise I'll give you the house for him. I'm fed up with quarterback.
Yeah, well, P starting Sam Darnold this weekend. That's crazy.
How about that?
Yeah, we got 1 minute left. Let's wrap this up. Just wanted to check in with the league real quick. Little state of the union from myself. Give some teams that deserve it some credit. But yeah, I mean, I think it's shaping up to be another fun second half of the season.
Quick hitter, bold projection for the rest of the year. What do you got?
Who I have, or a bold
just
prediction?
One, just anything.
I think Joey finishes as the 1 seed.
All right, my bold prediction is I think Ronnie's troops get a playoff win.
Wow.
I think that Grant ends up in the championship.
Love it.
Not winning, in it.
Well, wait, in it or win it?
In it.
Well, we're all in it to win it, including myself here over again, Danny Doo-Doo Water, and that's how we're gonna wrap this thing up. Good chopping it up, and we'll do one of these again. We'll keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sweet. Enjoy your weekend, fellas.
Peace, boys.
Wednesday.